Hello and welcome to my uh, bio-final project, the biology of Devil May Cry enemies. Devil May Cry is a character action franchise published by Capcom. It's a really fun series. I recommend people try it out. Let's get into it. So, Devil May Cry is a hack and slash franchise, as I said before, or character action made by Capcom, beginning with Devil May Cry 1, or just Devil May Cry, released in August of 2001. The series has since garnered a cult following, especially since the third installment widely considered to be the best in the series. The game contains a variety of enemies that have unique interactions with Dante, the player character. Some of these enemies present interesting questions when delving into their mechanics from a biological perspective. For the sake of simplicity, only enemies from the third game forwards will be shown, as I am not currently familiar with the first and second games as of the recording of this video. And I will be using Dante to refer to the player character from now on. So, starting with Devil May Cry 3, we have the Blood Goyle and the Soul Eater. Devil May Cry 3's enemies are, as I said before, the Blood Goyle and the Soul Eater, two flying type enemies that showcase interesting or perhaps more annoying behavior towards Dante. Both enemies have defensive adaptations that make them more difficult to defeat than typical enemies within Devil May Cry 3, and as a result, take a little bit higher priority than other lesser demons. So, starting with the Blood Goyle. The Blood Goyle is a flying type enemy that only has a single true attack, quote unquote, circling around before making an eagle's cry and charging Dante and knocking him down, if it strikes. However, they do display another behavior when Dante does not attack it for some time. They split apart into two new Blood Goyles. From this, it can be inferred that the Blood Goyle is an organism that reproduces asexually at a very rapid pace. And they also reproduce asexually or split apart when Dante attacks them with close range attacks, that being, swords and melee weapons and the like. As an in-game mechanic, this serves to punish the player for making the mistake of using close range weapons on the Blood Goyle, or for leaving them alone for too long. Because when they are not struck, when they are hit with melee weapons, they turn to stone. As the lore reasoning, they are blood mixed with magically enchanted stone that has given birth to this wretched beast. Multiplies whenever hit by close range attacks. Its defense mechanism is weak to modern day weapons. So, defense mechanism is a quote, or not like a quote, but a term used in biology to describe adaptations an organism would have to ward off predators and the like, such as insects or caterpillars being very brightly colored, frogs being very, very brightly colored to indicate it is poisonous. Not venomous, but poisonous. And that's the correct term. When you eat it, it's poisonous. When it bites you, it's venomous. From a biological perspective, splitting apart would be a defense mechanism, as stated before, against stronger demons that normally would be able to overpower the Blood Goyles. It should be stated that the Blood Goyle is made of hot liquid blood, and when attacked by the Cerberus melee weapon, which is a set of icy nunchucks, it turns to stone instantly and retains its stone form while being hit. Something to consider.
Come on, Wimp. Blast off! Come on, Imp. Blast off!
Now the Soul Eater. The Soul Eater is another type of flying enemy that either knocks Dante down or grabs him and drains him of his DT gauge or soul, and then explodes, dealing a large amount of damage. According to the in-game file on the Soul Eater, spiritual remnants of the rage of murdered demons have pooled together to create this beast. Its creature paralyzes its prey before feasting upon its soul. From a gameplay perspective, this serves as another lesser demon that can easily blindside and punish Dante very severely, as on higher difficulties the explosion would most likely leave Dante with very little health or kill him outright. From a biological perspective, it can be considered that the Soul Eater is a parasitic organism. I also thought that it could be a virus in some ways because it doesn't seem to reproduce. It doesn't seem to be really alive in the traditional sense, as it's the spiritual remnants. What this, as non-biological as that is, it can be speculated or it can be argued that for however wildly the demon world's ecology works, these soul monsters are viruses, so to speak, in that they are not really alive, they're just trying to feed. Maybe. I'm not sure. I stuck with parasitic. Most likely it is analogous to a tick in function as it drains Dante of his soul or DT gauge, for lack of a better term. But it should be mentioned that ticks don't explode under normal circumstances. Something else to mention is that the Soul Eater also takes a second to turn into a gaseous, untargetable form when Dante is looking directly at it, and then teleports into a location closer away from Dante's direct line of sight. Devil May Cry 4, The Scarecrow and the Blitz. The Scarecrow is the most basic enemy type in DMC4 and is most threatening in hordes. Based on the in-game file for the Scarecrow, they are filled with a hive mind organism, or a beetle, demonic beetle called Tropoxylus, that congregates to move the Scarecrow's body in intelligent ways, while as the Tropoxylus itself is unintelligent, as it says. A demon born with sacks filled with Tropoxylus. These insects are unintelligent, however, by moving as one, they bring life to their scarecrow-like form. Their bladed arms were once used as executioner's blades. And Tropoxylus does actually exist in real life as a genus for the Japanese rhinoceros beetle, which is also used in cartoons a lot.
Hey, what's up?
The Blitz. The Blitz is a much more challenging demon to deal with relative to the other demons in Devil May Cry 4. It is very fast, hard to hit, and cannot be attacked with melee weapons, as that will shock Dante. From a biological perspective, the Blitz has selected for the ability to manipulate lightning to imbue itself with lightning fast speed and reflexes, sacrificing eyesight for better hearing and smell, supposedly. However, it can also be considered unintelligent due to its inability to distinguish friend and foe, according to this in-game file. An elite demon sired by the Emperor of Demonkind, unable to see, it relies on its other senses to track a prey's movements, and then attacks with ferocity. However, this occasionally leads it to attack other demons. One should take caution not to fall victim to its violent blows. So, based on this in-game file, this can tie in with the concept of natural selection, as the organism, the ancestors for this organism, have selected for the ability to imbue lightning into its attacks, and has not selected for eyesight. It has foregone eyesight for being really fast. This electric I guess, how do I describe this? This electric manipulating capabilities is also seen in nature with electric eels, Electrophorus electricus, a type of eel that can conduct electricity to stun its prey. According to the article, Astonishing Behavior of Electric Eels in the journal Frontiers in Integrative Neuroscience, quote, the mechanism by which electric eels generate either a weak EOD or a strong EOD has been determined in some detail. Given the similar form of the two outputs, it is perhaps not surprising that the weak EOD is emitted by simply activating a subset of the eel's electrocytes. The eel's electrocytes are divided among 3 different electric organs, which are referred to here as the eel's electric organ, singular, for simplicity. So this is end quote. Perhaps not as impressive as the ability to shoot out beams of lightning and teleport around the room, like the Blitz can, but interesting nonetheless. Devil May Cry 5, The Fury. DMC5 once again tosses the old enemy roster out and introduces a new band of baddies to beat up. The most interesting of these malefactors would be the Fury, an elite-type enemy that attacks Dante in quick flashes, much like the Blitz we just talked about from DMC4. According to the in-game file on the Fury, I got this theory that demons mutate based on their deepest, darkest desires. So take this big lizard. It wants to hunt, right? Wants to go faster, wants to kill faster. Day in, day out, all it can think of is speed. A few generations of that twisted killer instinct, and you get a freak so fast it ain't even moving under its own power no more. This sucker uses raw demonic power to do little space-time jumps. It'll warp right next to you and bite your face off before you can blink. Hope you got quick reflexes. So from this in-game file, it can be understood that the Fury is really fast. It's a lot like the Blitz, except it's easier to deal with because you can hit it, and it won't just command grab you and instantly kill you when you get it to low health. From a gameplay perspective, the Fury's speed tests Dante on if he is able to read the telegraphed attacks it makes, and if so, if he chooses to avoid or parry the attack. From a biological perspective, the Fury's in-game file uses a lot of language describing the process of evolution for evolution specifically for this demon. Nico, a supporting character in DMC5, states that the Fury and its ancestors had a desire to do things faster. Based on this conscious desire, it evolved from generation to generation to go faster and faster until it reached its breakneck speed of the Fury, which moves so fast it warps through space-time itself via its demonic power. This description clearly ties into the idea of evolution we learned in lab and lecture.
Hey, come on.
And that's oh, forgot something. No, I didn't forget anything. I think I just pressed enter an accident. And that is the end of my presentation. Here are my references. I hope you enjoyed what I had to showcase. Thank you for listening.